This meeting will be replayed via Xfinity Channel 8 or High Definition Channel 1072. It can also be accessed via the Government Access Channel, live video, on-demand archives on the Town of Barnstable's website. Good evening. Roll call. Jeff Converse.
Present.
John Cookson. Keith Hochstein, present. Suzanne Connolly.
Present.
Mark Bushway.
Present.
Bill Silva.
Present.
Jason Orby.
Present.
Act on the minutes of the March 11th meeting. Anyone have any additions, deletions? Okay, a motion and a second to accept the minutes.
So
Motion to accept.
All in favor with a show of hands? Unanimous. Director of Golf Maintenance report. James?
Well, we are getting the much needed rain. Actually, DEP, I think, met today, this morning, to reassess the drought conditions. They meet monthly. I haven't heard how that went. Hopefully they knock us back towards the other way. And the rain's great. It's helped with the greening of the turf. Unfortunately, it's stopping us from getting a lot of the key cultural practices done. We were hoping to aerate a bunch of the fairways, and it's just been way too wet. And that's also why the fairways, particularly at OBF, still don't look that great right now. We verticut them, they're ragged, there's clumps everywhere. We need it to be dry so we can drag and blow them off, mow them, and then overseed some selected areas that got ripped up a little bit. So it's gonna take a little time to bring those back. Same thing, haven't gotten to rebuilding or modifying that forward tee yet at Hyannis, but it is on our radar. We're still gonna do it.
Which tee? Which?
Sets.
The 17th hole,
17th.
yeah, it needs to be bigger or extended out to the left.
Thank you.
We have the material, it's just we need it
Yeah, you need
to not be mud,
Yeah.
so. And that won't be that much sod, so our budget can handle it. So the crews have been working on finishing the spring cleanups at both courses. They did manage, despite the wet conditions, to loam most of the stump holes, which was a good thing to get done, especially on the 5th hole. So that's going to be awesome once we get that finished. Our pump contractor, I talked to them today, right at the last minute. They are going to be here most likely tomorrow or the next day to get our pumps back in the pump house, which is cutting it really close since we're aerating Monday and we need water. So it gives me and Chris about a day to go through and make sure we have no leaks and get everything up and running. But they assured me they will be here, so that was a relief. Good news on the greens at Hyannis. I think we talked about that last meeting. They had a lot of winter damage, especially 12, 13, 16. They've all bounced back. They're going to be fine. We did a double verticut on them, and that helped clean it up. And it hasn't been super nice, but just a little bit warmer temperatures, soil temperatures, and they bounced back. So that was nice to see. When we do aerify, we are still going to aggressively overseed them. That's a big part of our management plan, is to incorporate better bent grass into the greens of both courses, and to help fill in some of the thin spots. So it is expensive. It's $18.50 a pound. I mean, 500 pounds of seed, and it's almost 10 grand to do both courses. It's just crazy how much seed is now. But I just wanted to point that out. It's not just the fertilizer and some of the other products. It's everything we're trying to do has a high cost to it. But the good thing is, this is seed we've used in the past. It's great. It germinates at a high rate. I'm really happy with it. And I think the greens last year were fantastic, and I think a lot of it has to do with blasting them with this seed the last few years. So we're going to keep up with that.
Good.
Going back to the pump houses, we fired up the pump at Hyannis, and of course we had problems. It's a drive, it runs the pump motor. Rodents got into it, fried it.
Oh.
Luckily we had one on the shelf, so it wasn't the end of the world. Our electrician, Sean Mahoney, was there within 15 minutes and had us back up and going the next day, so.
What exactly the rodents do to them?
Eat everything.
Eat
Yeah,
wire?
they
Is
chew
it
the wires,
wires?
and it's 480 volts, it's high voltage, so they start chewing on things, and then,
They die.
well, yeah, they didn't survive, but it also melted the boards, and
Oh.
And
God.
we put in mothballs, we put in decon, but that pump house is just in the woods, and they always find a way in. But, definitely gonna have to be more vigilant about cleaning up down there.
Get a cat.
Yeah, right.
Just-
I don't know if it would last with all the coyotes I've seen over there, but a cat would help. But we are up and running over there, which is good.
Jeez, I can't believe that.
I did want to mention that our maintenance days are going to be starting.
Yeah.
I believe
Right.
it was actually starting this week. So no back nine play at each course. Tuesday at Hyannis, Wednesday at Old Barney. And is it a 9 o'clock?
I don't think we have a delayed
8 o'clock?
start until we get into May.
May.
And it
Delayed
goes
start
to-
in May.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay. So 8 o'clock starts in April.
I'll send an email to the membership.
Okay. And then just real quickly, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Jim Rahilly. He volunteered his time and built us a Eastern Screech Owl box on the 8th hole over on the left in the sand plane.
Here,
Yeah, yeah.
on the 8th hole, over on the left.
Yeah, yeah. So it's out of play, but I just thought that was a nice thing for him to do, and
He did it this year?
he put it in a couple days ago.
Because obviously he hasn't been working for us
No.
in a while.
No, he's well. He hurt his leg. and-
Right,
Yeah.
I know pretty well.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
that was
on.
very-
Oh, sorry.
That was nice of him.
Yeah.
But-
He had mentioned he wanted to help us with some of the bird boxes out there, and he just kind of did it on his own. So.
Like in the
Well,
wildflower area?
in
to
the-
left?
Yes, yeah, in the wildflower area.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Cool.
job he did on the pump house, when you walk
Yes.
down 3, it looks terrific.
Yeah, it's the nicest looking pump house on Cape Cod.
It is.
It's got
Did you say for screech owls?
Eastern Screech Owls, yep.
Cool.
So we don't have ospreys, but maybe we'll get some owls. So,
Can you put a retaining wall over there to keep the ball out of the,
all right.
out of the,
The road?
no, out of the flower? Hook it left, you're out of play.
That's yeah, it is out of bounds after what,
Yeah.
10 or 15 feet there.
Don't hook it
Hole's
left.
310, relax.
Yeah,
But if
but
you try to cut it and double cross.
the guy that hits the green on
Fair
his tee shot.
Right.
down on the right.
So thank you to Jim for doing that for us.
Questions for James?
How long do you think it's gonna take the fairways to come back realistically?
Realistically, probably early May.
Okay.
It's going to be just between
That's
weather
better than I thought.
conditions.
That's not bad.
Early to mid-May. It'll help mid-May when we blast the whole place with organic fertilizer to really boost them in. But yeah, it'll be a little bit.
I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, is this kind of a funky spring weather-wise, or is this typical?
No, this is typical.
Sort of March,
Cape Cod.
July on
Yeah.
Cape Cod? Yeah.
March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The course got beat up a little bit more this year than last year, right?
It did.
Because in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a little surprising because it was closed
was
almost
closed.
the whole
Play, right.
month of February,
Right.
and it was hardly closed at all last year.
But
All the-
when
all
we
the
when we
freezing
were
flying,
open, it was the freeze thaw cycles we had
Oh,
this
that
year.
part, yeah.
The wet. A lot of the times when we were open, it was very wet.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took a beating.
When can you fertilize, James?
We're gonna. I'd wait till May. You could probably do it a little earlier, but we need that product to carry us into the summer a little bit. It's only feeds for 6 to 7 weeks, the turf, and then we kind of runs out of gas in August. So if I did it super early, we'd be in trouble in July.
You only do one application, or?
We'll hit the fairways again, but to do the whole entire golf course, it's just. I mean, it's $46,000 just to do the 2 courses wall to
Oh,
wall.
wow.
Compared to synthetic fertilizer would be what?
Much less, I won't say half the cost, but it would be, I want to say, the price of the bag is more expensive, but you need a lot less.
Right.
Maybe 30 grand to do both courses with synthetic.
That's a good question.
And it sustains
To bring
longer.
up.
Yes, and it feeds for the entire season, it's more effective.
Yeah, that's a good question to bring up, because again, that's one of the burdens that we're under, and it's certainly worthwhile reminding people.
It's kind of an unfunded mandate, to tell you the truth.
It is,
Is
and,
there any chance of them, exploring that, just because of the ineffectiveness of it?
We're not going back.
No, no.
No, we've, yeah.
we've been down that
It's just,
Right.
it seems like we're in a program that we really can't afford to be in.
I think where it hurts us is it redirects money from other areas we want to improve.
Right.
We can afford it, but it's at the cost of other things.
Sure, right.
That's the problem. We are affording it, but it's at the cost of, other things we want to do. A lot of them are obvious.
Right.
There are gonna be other courses that are gonna be joining you.
Captains.
Yeah.
Captains is?
Yeah, we called, captains.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
Colin,
Good.
Colin talked to me, the
Yeah.
super, yeah.
The superintendent called him, asking him his line of questions, and the director called me, asking budget questions, like, how much is this gonna hurt me? And I said, oh, get ready,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are there any grants for sustainable golf course management from like the PGA, for example?
I don't think so. I mean, I know,
I've investigated that a little bit.
Nothing-
No, it would be from the USGA if anything, but
I didn't mean PGA, I
Right,
meant
right.
USGA.
nothing I've come across.
Nothing
I
that
can
would-
look into it more,
I
but
read, I get that magazine and I read they were bragging about, getting to more sustainable practice. And they said something about some grants, but it was very vague.
what's funny, people like the Masters Week, people look at that. That is the unhealthiest turf in the world.
No
You know,
kidding.
right? I mean, the second if they stop doing what they're doing, that place is dead. And how quickly?
Well, people think the azaleas are actually blooming.
Oh, it's
They're
all
potted plants
artificial.
most
It's all,
of the time.
Oh, they'll fly flowers in
Yeah,
from other
yeah.
parts of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
beautiful,
all,
but.
it's amazing.
yeah.
I've been
They
there.
actually
It's like,
control the temperature of the soil.
oh, they have
around
sub air.
the-
They
around
can
the
suck
plants.
moisture out of the greens.
So that
if
they
it's too wet.
bloom.
It's crazy.
right, yeah, they have
I've been-
subsurface.
I've been there.
drainage,
It's
yeah.
like if you're a golfer, it's like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's
But
Disneyland
not-
for golfers.
It is, but it's not.
It's not real.
No, it's not real.
I saw
not
something
healthy
interesting
either.
today, they cut their greens at the same height we do, 1/8 of an inch.
Really?
But I don't know if it's just because of the subsurface drainage, they're just so dried out. that
And
they're
their greens
still-
are all pitched like this.
Well,
too.
yeah,
They don't hold any water.
no,
They barely hold a golf ball.
right.
Right.
I just thought that was interesting, same height of cut.
You'll see when they mow, they'll mow you'll have 15 mowers on one fairway.
Right.
And the one is out front on the right, and the next one behind them is behind in a little left.
Yeah.
And everybody has a tennis ball on their, and if you see anything out of whack at all, chuck the tennis ball, everybody sees it land and they stop their machines.
Really?
It's wild. Yeah. Anything you see.
I went down there I saw Saturday and Sunday, but the reason why I'm bringing that up is I was in my hotel room and I was reading an article, and it said it's against Georgia state law for a weed to grow this is true now, on Augusta National. I spent 2 days looking for a weed and did not find.
Right.
In 2 days, I walked the whole course at least twice. There is not a weed, at least this week, at Augusta National.
Jordan Spieth famously said, "I've played this golf course 50 times. I've never seen a squirrel."
They're-
Think about that. You're in the woods in Georgia.
Wow.
Sorry, I digress.
Again, for the benefit of our
Can't
TV
afford
audience, we talk about the organic fertilizer program that we use, and we're proud of it. We do want the public to know that it costs us more money, but we certainly are supportive of it, and we would like the public to know that we feel that we are a responsible part of the entire Barnstable town government. And no one here, I know the question was asked about going back, but we support this organic program to enhance the quality of the water in the town.
And that's another drawback of organic fertilizer, I just thought we should mention it. I would not want to blast these courses with too much organic fertilizer, it's got phosphorus in it, which is a big no-no.
Oh,
That's one of the advantages of synthetic fertilizer, it's all phosphorus. I know in New York, they actually they prefer organic non-organic in Nassau County, because it's got no phos.
Bethpage Green?
Yeah.
Talking there?
Yeah, no phos.
I actually read that some inorganic fertilizer is better for the environment than some organics, and I think that's something that gets lost in the discussion, that, you know, organic equal good, you know, uncritically to say that, because sometimes it's better to use the other stuff. But that said, I will tell you that I think it's much healthier. I played both, most of us have.
Oh, yeah.
And, I knew people that would step on sometimes and just, you know, break out in hives. So it's a healthier thing for the people who golf here. And I fully support it, that's for sure.
I mean, I think our biggest impact is actually our reduction of chemical use. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's the real big one that we've done.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions for James? All right, Director of Golf report.
All right.
Yay.
Happy Masters Week, everyone.
Happy Masters.
All right, so a little all over the place here. I feel like I say that every time. Revenue continues to be fairly strong. The increases to the annual pass fees have not scared anyone away. In fact, we're about 6% up year to date. Since November 1st, which is when we started the early sign-up program, we've sold 770 passes versus 724 in the same time frame last year. And
Say that again, Jesse.
770 versus 724.
Ooh.
And in actual dollars, we're up about $45,000 over last year to date. It's 935 versus 890. That's just membership fees.
Jesse, while you're on that, out-of-town people,
Yep.
what are the numbers there? If you
Um,
could, yep, I don't wanna put you necessarily on the spot here, but.
Last year at this point, non-resident pass 88. This year 109.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it,
all right.
it didn't scare anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we've only sold about half of the passes we eventually will.
Yeah.
A lot of people wait to join. You saw in the latest report, we're about 240,000 ahead of forecast for the end of March. That sounds great, but it also happens to be right around the same dollar amount we're borrowing from reserves. Meaning if the year were to end right now, and/or if we were to continue to hit our numbers on the dot for the rest of the fiscal year, we basically have a net zero break-even year. Which, again, I'd like to remind everyone, a net zero would be considered a successful year. We're not structured like a business in the private sector. Our charge as an enterprise fund is to cover costs, so we don't need to burden the general fund. Obviously, these last 3 months are big ones in terms of forecasted revenue. Hopefully, the remainder of this fiscal year is strong, and we can make a considerable contribution to reserves. For comparison's sake, last year our contribution to reserves was about 130,000. We beat forecasted revenue by 300,000, but 170 of it was used to backfill reserves. As much as revenue is solid, it's been a very expensive year on the other side of things. James and Chris and I met earlier this morning to review our current purchase orders, and there really isn't much left to spend this fiscal year. Aside from the obvious extra expenses at Hyannis, which we are yet to be reimbursed for, we've had things pop up. The pumps, as he talked about, granted that was an appropriation, $27,000 to remediate a mold issue in the maintenance office, came out of our regular budget, wasn't planning on any of that. These unanticipated expenses add up quickly and direct money away from other places we'd like to use it, but it is what it is. The budget always looks good on paper, but like Mike Tyson famously once said, everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. And we've certainly taken our share of hits this year.
Mike Tyson analogy.
Yeah.
A cogent thought.
Pulled that one out of the sky.
That's my first Mike Tyson reference, director of golf.
Hopefully.
It's your last.
Happy to report, I have a plumbing company tentatively scheduled for this coming week to fix a leak in one of the toilets in the ladies' room and to raise them up to
Excellent.
comfort height.
You know they're calling them the Conley commodes, right? Word got around.
It was short money, so we'll see
Oh,
how they
good.
do. Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll make a plaque.
Hyannis Clubhouse work is ongoing. You all received the most up-to-date schedule, which continues to show the estimated completion in early August. No real updates there. Frankly, at this point, I think we're in the no news is good news phase, meaning things are going according to plan for the most part. The parking lot was trenched for the new water line. That'll be repaved during the days we're closed for aeration over there, the week of the 21st. So they're gonna take those 3 days we're closed to remove about 4 inches of whatever material they put down, remove that and pave. Tom and his staff have been doing a great job of troubleshooting all the various logistical issues that they're facing over there. Ever since the initial flood in the clubhouse over 2 years ago, the staff at Hyannis has been incredibly resourceful. I can't say enough about them. I know golfers have been frustrated with the situation over there, and rightfully so, but honestly, that pales in comparison to what the staff has been up against. And they've done so without complaining. They just do what they need to do. And frankly, that goes for our entire staff at both facilities on both sides of the operation. I've never been around a more resourceful and prideful group of people. As you all know, we're handcuffed in a lot of different ways, but the staff always does the best they can with the resources they have. That's all I have.
The hookup with the state highway?
They haven't dug that yet,
All they
But-
did was yeah.
Have
They
they
did the
given you a
parking lot.
date?
but they haven't dug down to the fire hydrant yet. They haven't marked.
Right. Well, so the fire hydrant is a whole other. They're putting a fire hydrant. Initially, it was supposed to go like in the fire lane if you were walking towards the clubhouse on the right, the fire lane. But Eversource doesn't want it under the lines, so now they're putting it over by the 10th tee, a new hydrant.
Say that again, they're putting a new hydrant by the 10th tee?
Correct. In the corner by the woods.
Okay, oh, okay,
Yeah, it won't be. It'll be tucked away.
all right,
But so the line is actually going to feed that hydrant, and then that hydrant will feed the building. I don't have a date yet for that, but I have been told that as far as,
The permitting process.
well, as far as disruption,
yeah.
we're basically good. We're out of the woods.
And how is the work going inside?
Great.
She's on-
There, yeah. Everything's framed up. I'm starting to. Before, I'm walking around with a contractor and he's saying, "Yeah, your bathroom's here," and this. And I just can't picture it.
Right.
But now that everything's framed, it's
You can
all.
see it?
Yeah, and it's great.
Are you pleased with the way the pro shop's going to look?
It's gonna be. Yes, it's gonna be bigger. I hope it doesn't look too awkward. That basically, if you're facing the counter, to your left now is gonna be bumped out probably as far as it is to that wall right now. We're gaining about that much, that
Wow,
entire wall.
all right.
It's getting bigger. And we're doing that by using that wasted space that was the ladies' room. You know,
Sure,
shoving everything that
Yeah.
way. So the pro shop's gonna get bigger by, I don't know, a couple hundred square feet.
that's pretty good.
So, yeah. So Tom will have a fun assignment of,
Merging it,
designing a whole
Yeah.
new pro shop basically,
Yeah.
because there might, as far as slat wall and that kind of stuff, it's gonna look different.
Good.
But the counter will stay where it is.
okay,
No, they're moving. We'll have another meeting every Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. We have a meeting. I understand 20% of it, when they're talking construction stuff,
Yeah.
but for the most part,
it's going.
change orders haven't been too crazy.
Good,
I mean, there's been 6 figures already, but
yeah.
Jesse, have we gotten a final report from our insurance company? No, that's still up in the air.
correct. We don't
So
know.
we don't know exactly how much
No.
that renovation is gonna cost the golf program.
Right.
We don't know that.
Right, it was, we know the project started at 2.5, we've had about 150,000 worth of change orders, so we're at 265 now, let's say, but we don't know how much of that we're gonna have to finance.
Do you know if tariffs are going to increase the cost at all?
Can we start a project?
Is that possible to say?
Checkbook and a fixed budget.
Well, they were talking about lumber and whatnot from Canada and some things
She must
that,
have her materials.
not to
right?
mention
But you're also
steel
not using lumber.
products.
You should be using all steel studs.
Well, the lumber, everything's framed with lumber right now.
Indoors, you're not using metal studs, it's a commercial building.
Wow.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I was over there myself.
Yep.
It's being framed with lumber.
That's unusual.
Yeah,
Why you-
everything's already up.
Okay.
That's why
So-
it's low bid.
Well, the other thing I
That's
wanted to
why it's not
comment
in
on,
code.
at the last meeting or the meeting before that, you mentioned that you put in a big order of gear, and the
Use
clubhouse
side
upstairs
studs, place some
looks
extras.
terrific. I don't know if you guys got a signal from someone that we better order this stuff ahead of time, but that
So,
was great.
so you're talking the merchandise here?
Right.
That was ordered in November.
Okay,
We're way out ahead of that,
All right.
for that. They do their spring orders in November,
The election, yeah.
and,
didn't we get some money advanced to us?
yes, $40,000.
Right,
Right. And that was because she was running out of money to restock. You know, the place would have been empty in June
yeah,
had she not gotten that money. And then, believe it or not, pretty soon, May, she'll be doing her fall order for, for maybe October 1 delivery, something like that.
Yeah,
We
okay.
order this stuff way in advance.
well, that was, like
Yeah.
I said, I don't know if a signal was given or,
No, we typically, November, we order for like a mid-March delivery for
All right.
merchandise.
okay,
You're right, because that stuff's coming from all over the place.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Other questions for Jesse?
Is First Tee, what's going on
Next
with
week,
them?
my son's doing it, it's next week it starts.
Over at Hyannis?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'll all be, so the workers are all gone by 3:30, First Tee starts at 4. I've been in contact with the director of the First Tee, just letting them know.
Still Dave?
Basically, it's no different. Well, no, he's the lead instructor, Kyle Harris, who works
Kyle
for
Harris,
Mass Golf.
okay, yeah.
Right. I was in contact with him, basically telling him it's really no different than the last couple of years as far as they're concerned. As far as no clubhouse access, portable restrooms. They won't see any actual construction happening because everybody's gone by
Right,
the time they
okay.
get there.
They never really go in the clubhouse anyway.
No, Dave's really good about keeping the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the numbers on that, I mean, have we increased the numbers over the
First
years?
Tee?
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a great program.
I would say I think it's pretty capped. I think he can only
Yeah.
take so many
Yeah,
per se, you know,
it's-
I mean, I know he's expanded, PGA Junior League is another thing he does, and he
Okay.
used to have one team, now he has 2 or 3.
And I know my wife signed up early, because if you don't, you can't
First
get in.
tee, or-
You can't get in.
First
Right.
tee, yeah.
Right,
Well, I know when the kids are there and they're practicing putting, they're everywhere.
right.
So I know there's a lot of kids taking
Yeah, I
part
think
in
that,
it.
I don't think.
And again, that's something, who else has a first team program?
Cranberry Valley.
Remember,
One other one,
And
and
that's
that's
it,
sort
right?
of new, right, Jeff?
it's
Newer than
2
us.
years old. Gordon
Yeah.
Napier is the guy who runs it down there.
Right, we've had this thing for years now, so. that's another
None of the
feather.
Cranberries, Roman or Dick, or they don't teach?
Yeah, they'll help out.
Okay.
And Dick has got one PGA junior team,
That's right,
and
yeah.
and we have another one. There are 2 teams in the PGA Junior League down there.
PGA Junior, you know about, that's a great initiative that started. It's basically Little League for golf. It's great, it's a
What are
team.
the ages?
First, PGA Junior League?
PGA Junior League.
13 to 17, something?
I'm thinking
It's
of
younger
even
than that.
younger.
Is it
One
even
ends
younger?
at 13.
Yeah, I think it's like
It's
10
before they get
10
to
to-
high
Yeah,
school.
okay,
No, it goes up to
Middle school?
goes
like,
up to 15
okay.
Up to 15?
because my
I was thinking
my
of putting
girlfriend's
Hattie
sons are
in.
twins.
kind of
They
an
turned
in-between,
15
you
this
know,
summer.
you-
This is their last year to play.
It's
Then
not
you-
really
then you have to go
instructional,
to
it's
New
more
England
competitive.
Junior
Yeah, yeah.
PGA.
But it's
Yeah,
super,
which
But that's
Well,
full
uh,
competition
right.
golf.
Yeah.
right.
it's also
Yeah.
if you sign up with New England PGA, but you can play in the Cape Cod Junior Golf
Right.
Association.
Again, anyone, other questions?
Yeah, I have one more question about
Please.
revenue at Hyannis.
Yeah.
How are we doing on tournament rebookings now that we're into like season 3 of no clubhouse? Because you're forecasting revenue for the summer, so.
Right, right. I've actually already submitted my revenue projections for FY26.
Yeah.
Groups are down, but revenue isn't too bad. Those groups, a lot of them have been replaced with regular daily play. We're lucky that golf is very healthy right now. So it used to be, and I've said this a lot, when I first became the pro at Hyannis in 2015, it was, all I get asked about is how many groups do you have, how many groups do you have? And we would have 25 large scale groups, you know. Now, you're almost better off just being open. And I know that's crazy to say, but why shut the golf course down for 100 players when you're gonna do more than that just being open? I know that's a weird thing for me to say, but revenue is, let's see where we're at Hyannis. I mean, greens fees at Hyannis, projected through the end of March, 324,000, we're at 366. So, we're up 10% over forecast for greens fees at Hyannis.
Yeah.
Now, was that forecast tempered because of the situation? Yes, I definitely lowered it. I mean, for example, that same time frame, 324 at Hyannis, Old Barney was forecast at 598.
Right, so you're off $150,000.
And, well, we would never do what Old Barnstable did.
No,
at
that would put
Hyannis.
you at like 470 versus 598.
Something like, yeah, it would be, right.
Yeah.
You wanna go
And Old Barnstable's up about the same, they're up 10% also,
Yeah.
60,000. So no, fee play is healthy, as our membership, we're lucky that revenue is good.
Is there a plan to remarket Barnstable for tournaments after the clubhouse is open?
Yes, but we're talking 2026.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll,
Understood.
Right,
Yeah.
right, I'm not gonna, right,
You can't aim anything for the fall in case it's some unexpected delay.
correct,
Yeah,
exactly.
but
We've
for
been
next
very
season-
hesitant, we've been very hesitant to book large groups that are labor intensive or
Food and beverage.
expect a lot, right. I mean, some groups have said we don't care, we're going elsewhere after to eat anyway. Okay, great, that's best case scenario. But yes, we'll get aggressive over this coming winter with trying to reach out to those groups, and we'll see what happens. But I'm happy with where greens fees are right now.
Hearing your figures there, Jesse, it sounds good, certainly. Are you planning any marketing program for this year, such as play 4 rounds, get the 5th round free, that kind of thing?
No, we'll do our typical, the weekday special in Hyannis. We have a bunch of radio ads, we have a bunch of, the companies I work with, we do radio ads we did them for early sign up, we're doing them for membership now. Once we get in season, it'll be the $59 weekday special at Hyannis. We're on the, I don't know if you've heard like the Pixie 103 golf card. People can pay X amount and you get a bunch of courses that are on this card. That gives us a
Oh, that's
lot
right,
of,
yeah, I did know. we were
that
on
gives
that.
us a lot of
Right.
airtime.
Right.
That's kind of how we barter for
Right.
airtime
Only
basically.
7
Right,
courses
you
on
mentioned
the
But
card.
we're also doing like digital targeting ads. Anybody who's basically on a golf course within 50 miles of us, we know they're a golfer and our ads are gonna pop up on their phones, their devices.
Oh, you geofence it.
Correct,
Yep.
correct. So we are active with that, but no, just the weekday special is the only actual deal, if you wanna call it that. But we're also on Golf Now at Hyannis, which does tons of marketing for us. You know, we give them a tee time a day. So Tuesday through Thursday, we give them, say, the 12 o'clock tee time. They can sell it for whatever they want, they keep that money. But what we get for that is, anybody goes on Golf Now, it interfaces with Chelsea, and they can book at Hyannis. So it gives us way more exposure, if that makes sense. So that's how,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
no money out of pocket because we give them that tee time.
Right.
Is that
So
new?
that's-
Is that new, Jesse? Have you always been
Golf
on?
Now, we started last year.
Did you?
Yeah, just last year. And
We've been
it was
doing
good.
that in Crawford Valley for a while.
The fact that it interfaces with Chelsea is huge. We don't have to do anything.
So again, it sounds like you're happy with our numbers, even though I'm sure the word is out that there is no restaurant, there is no bar.
I think the numbers are as good as they could be. I
Okay.
really do.
All
Will
right.
there be
yes.
any food or beverage over there this summer?
Just snacks and drinks. and-
Truck, no truck, nothing.
Where would the truck go?
Yeah.
Right.
How would they get
So-
electricity? How would they get water?
Even
It
a-
How do they get a permit?
yeah, it's
That's
just,
just,
And
it's,
Well, Chris Canella spelled that out for us.
Well, that's the problem.
there's just,
Well, what about like a
Licensing.
Gatorade at the turn?
Yeah.
In the front,
Yeah,
there's a
it's-
little
it's a
drink
red
cooler
tape
and some
nightmare.
crackers
But-
and candy bars.
there's literally no, I mean, where would you put it? You see, their footprint is big, construction.
Yeah.
And the truck that was there before was pulling electricity and water from the building. They were using the ice machine and the snack bar, all that stuff that couldn't happen now.
remember I talked about the 3-ring circus?
Yeah.
Now it's a 2-ring circus.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
The concession here,
Mhm.
when does their contract, run out?
This is the final year of their regular contract
Right.
and we have options,
Okay,
right?
okay,
So we'll see what happens probably in like November.
Yeah.
Procurement will reach out to me and say, all right,
time to go.
what are we
Yeah.
doing? And we'll make that decision.
Thank you.
Raffle time?
Are you
Raffle time.
Are you better
I'm
off to
excited.
extend them while you solicit someone to go into the other building for next season? Or are you gonna put two out at the same time?
The Hyannis one will go out first, I
Right,
wanna say.
but two in one season would be a lot, change two
Sure.
vendors.
Um,
Not a decision, just a curiosity.
Maybe you
Right.
could get one vendor for both.
Nobody wants to run two restaurants.
I mean, it's tough enough to, I mean, the last time we went out for both golf courses, we got one, you know,
Yeah.
it's tough. Restaurant's a tough business, especially to golf course,
Yeah.
when you're expected to be open 16 hours a day in
Yeah.
season, you know. The same people complaining they can't get a coffee at 6 in the morning. Other people on the other end are saying, it's only 8 o'clock, what do you mean you're closed?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
14 hours later,
Yeah.
so it's, you know, it's tough.
Raffle time.
All right, any other questions though for Jesse?
Are we gonna do raffle as part of the meeting?
Yes, it's on the agenda.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Remember this?
I do, but tell me again.
So, yeah, okay, so we need to decide what we're doing first. We have 7 prizes.
Yeah, we're
Are
gonna
we
start
building
at the
up?
bottom.
Start at the bottom.
Right.
So we're gonna
Took
do
care of it.
4 guest passes,
You already
then a $100 gift card, then a range pass, and then the big one.
Okay,
So there, we have exactly 400 people
For a long time.
that joined between January 1st and February
all
28th.
right, we're giving out how many prizes?
7. So we're using Google, I think it's, no, sorry.
This is exciting.
All right,
So hit generate.
hit generate, it'll
right,
pick a random number.
The first
Tell
number
me what it
is 225.
225, a guest pass goes to Jason Rossi. He's a super early morning guy, you probably know that.
Yeah.
All right, next guest pass, 54.
Bob Markurley, is that M-A-R-C-A-U-R-E-L-E? I don't know how to say it.
Okay,
What?
whoever it is.
Okay, another pass.
Another guest pass, 245.
245 is Chris Shakalis.
Chris Shakalis.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, Rick's wife, right?
Yep.
Yeah, she'll be happy.
Last guest pass,
And the last one, 148.
148 is Danny Jones.
Okay,
So now we have a $100 gift card.
all right, the next one is for a $100 gift card, just to repeat what Jesse said. 285.
Dick Vecchione.
Ooh.
Range pass.
Range pass,
That's a good.
243.
Yeah, that's a good one.
240. Kevin O'Brien.
Is that either course?
Yes. And the big one.
Okay, membership, 15.
15.
Oh,
Kyle Shepard.
Kyle Shepard.
Kyle Shepherd.
Wow.
Congratulations to all
That'd
the
be a
Yes.
winners.
happy guy.
Congratulations to all winners, and thank you for contributing to the course early.
Yeah.
Right. Sweet.
All right. Any other comments, concerns? A motion to adjourn in a second, please.
So
Motion
moved.
to adjourn.
Okay, all in favor? Show of hands. The meeting is adjourned
Yay,
at
good one.
6:12.
Good one.